All right, Shalom. All praise goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Bashim Rakakwadash. The bonus goes into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me the truth. Much love, peace, blessings goes out to all you hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And also to you sincere listeners out there. May the Holy Spirit of truth speak through me to edify you hopeful elect brothers and sisters out there. There's going to be another video through the Spirit, kind of going over a slew of topics. I have a few articles pulled up that I want to go into, as well as a video. Can just, and of course, dive into the scriptures at the tail end of this, and pretty much painting the picture of the chaos that's developing in America as far as the famine and the lawlessness that's going to break out as a result of the famine. Because when you know, us brothers, you know, as far as in the truth, we understand that there's going to be a time when all hell breaks loose. But the catalyst to all hell breaking loose really is the lack of resources. It's really the breakdown and the deterioration of the things which sustain life in this country. Right? Because people can go without entertainment. People can go without cars. But one thing most human beings cannot go without is food and shelter and their money, because the money gives them access to do everything they want to do. So once those things go out the window, that's when all hell is breaking loose. And just as we can see as a metric of that, just by things tightening up in this country, you want to go back the past year or so, few months, the dollar's been inflating. There's been massive inflation, and there's been increase in fuel prices. People are already leading to criminality as it stands now. So that relationship, you know, between, you know, dwindling resources as far as, you know, the dollar losing its value, dollars losing their value, and, you know, the prices of things going up, just more chaos and more lawlessness is going to be as a result. Because this is what I have here on this article. It says, cost of living crisis sparks boom in first-time shoplifters. You see? It says the cost of living crisis has sparked boom in first-time shoplifters, according to supermarket bosses. Thefts have soared since the beginning of the year and are continuing to increase in the wake of price rises caused by the war in Ukraine, which have left many consumers struggling to make ends meet. As a result, retailers say theft levels are off the charts so far this year, according to analysts, as well as anecdotal evidence from supermarket bosses to their trade journal, The Grocer. The magazine said store managers have told The Grocer of higher crime rates after noticing new first-time shoplifters as opposed to the usual suspects. See? So a lot of morality is going out the window because, see, the thing that kept most of these people in check was the comfortable lifestyle they were able to live. See, people did not... This is what you got to understand about these inhabitants of the earth right now. Most people do not have morals. Most people do not really care about doing what's right and versus what's wrong, because hard times is the test of one's character. So all these people ultimately resorting to criminality, they had no angst about doing it in past because they were comfortable. They were able to work a certain amount of hours and then come home at the end of the week, still pay for all the bills, still have food on the table. But now, since certain things are being taken away from people, you know, people at this current time may be able to pay rent, pay this, pay for groceries, but then they steal and result to criminality to get certain extra things. Niggas is buying, going to grocery stores, and Edomites too. You know, everybody, they going to these stores, grabbing up deodorant, grabbing up hair products. But we see this situation going to devolve, man. People going to going to the store just to steal bags of rice, steal cereal, steal milk, steal eggs. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you know it's going to be real. It says, professional shoplifters tend to target high-value goods they can sell on, such as alcohol, razors, and other items, but a new breed are stealing even the cheapest of products from the shelves, said the grocer. It added one store manager reported shoplifting starting to rise across everyday and low-value items that you'd find in your weekly basket, in contrast to the more regularly targeted luxury, high-cost items. Retail analyst Brian Roberts of Shop Floor Insights said the situation is definitely getting worse. Called Allah Bashim Shai and said the crime rate was off the charts. Some shops have reintroduced the one-way entry and exit points that were around during the COVID to help socially distance customers, but are now there to make it easier to track who comes in and out. You see that? So the criminality is rising, man. You know what I'm saying? I got this video pulled up right here. Matter of fact, let's go to this one first. This is the book of Sirach 34 in verse 21. It says, "The bread of the needy is their life." See? So meaning your food resources. When people, the most impoverished people, as far as, the working class and people lower working class, middle class, they don't have the amount, they don't make the certain amount of money to be able to, how should I put this? They don't make extra on their returns throughout, from their workload. When it comes to the working class, majority of their money spent goes towards their food. And that's why it says the bread of the needy, that's their life. That's what their their life is attached to. He says, "He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood." So once the needy are defrauded of being able to eat, who's ever responsible for that is a man of blood, because they understand that. Look, the elites, they will understand that the people are in a dire situation, and that they're going to result to criminality from not being able to buy certain things, from cost rising, right? So whoever is in charge and responsible for this, like these Edomites are, because they are intentionally crashing the dollar, they're men of blood. It says, "He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder." And that's exactly what that's what the dollar and the banking system is all about. It's defrauding you of your wages. Because just 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, the dollar was exponentially more valuable because it took less dollars to buy the same products several years ago. So the fact that things starting to cost more, it doesn't mean that, these certain goods, whether it's a cheeseburger at McDonald's, for example, just an example, or laundry detergent, or shampoo, or clothes items, right? Just because it costs more nowadays doesn't mean these items are more valuable. No, doesn't mean that they're higher grade or higher material. If anything, a lot of products, as a side note, they depreciate, they get crappier over time, but yet we see the price of them rising. Why is the price rising? Because the dollar is less valuable, because they use the bankers are responsible for something called fractional reserve banking, right? Which that's a side note, you could look into that, but that's why we're in this situation is plummeting even quicker now. Because the elites, they're in control of the dollar. And look at this video. This is a video coming out of, I think it's California, when they decriminalized thefts under $1,000. You have 4 individuals, Jakes, run up in here stealing alcohol, man. And this shows you the mindset of a nigga. Jake just couldn't wait to get out there and steal bottles of alcohol. Because, just like it said in that last article, the alcohol for professional petty thefts, they sell these items after they steal them. You know what I'm saying? So these people here in the store, they're not stealing for want of bread. Jake is doing this shit just to be a damn nigga. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see in the times approaching the next few months to a possibly even a year from now, if we even have that long. People are gonna be emptying out these stores for everyday products to use for themselves. You had Esau behind the counter, all mad. Seriously, guys, come on now. If I was Esau, man, I would have blow these niggas away. Esau, you weak, man. This is a real Edomite. You supposed to come to use your weapons, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I have no qualms about these Edomites blowing away wicked Jakes like this. They should die, all right? Wicked ass Jakes, man. Jake is wicked, man. Jake is fucking wicked, bro. So, hey, this is the times we're living in, man. It's only going to intensify. We're going to see, brothers going to be seeing stuff like this firsthand. And they're also talking about these blackouts and these global wheat shortage. So a famine is coming. It says world has 10-week supply of wheat. Expert tells UN Security Council this is seismic. It says wheat piled in a grain warehouse earlier shelled by Russian forces on May 6, 2022, near the front lines of Kherson Oblast. So let's go down. It says global food insecurity has reached levels not seen since the financial crisis of 2008, and it's only going to get worse without aggressive intervention. A food insecurity expert told the United Nations Security Council this week. Russia's invasion of Ukraine did not start a food security crisis, but it did add fuel to a fire that was long burning, said Sarah Menker, CEO of Grow Intelligence, a global company that uses artificial intelligence and public and private data to predict food supply trends. And see, and this is, articles like this on mainstream media, Esau reveals, if you're aware of his intentions, if you're aware of the motives of these Edomites, they reveal in these articles what they're about. This woman, they're saying that they're really showing you that the food security crisis, that's something that was already brewing for several years, going back to the onset of the pandemic, right? Because CNN had an article back in April 2020 that warned of a biblical worldwide famine. So how would they know from that back then if it was not in their plans? You see what I'm saying? But now you have this woman CEO of Grow Intelligence, which apparently is a company that uses AI to predict food supply trends. You know why that is? It's not to predict anything. It's to control it. Esau's whole thing is digitizing all forms and all resources, whether it be housing, whether it be cars, the information on everything, including human beings, to be able to control that. So when it comes to any and everything, that's what Esau wants his hands on. So now we see why there's such a high demand to basically digitize everything. Because when something is digital, when it's uploaded to Esau's database, he has perfect knowledge of it and he can control it. Add or remove it at his whim. Send it to and fro wherever he wants at a whim. It says this isn't cyclical, this is seismic. And actually, let's look up this word for seismic. Seismic is relating to earthquakes or other vibrations go down of enormous proportions or effect. See that? There are seismic pressures threatening American society. Ooh, as a spirit. So this is going to be of enormous proportions. I mean, it's going to affect people worldwide. It says, Menker said during a special meeting of the UN Security Council, even if the war were to end tomorrow, our food security problem isn't going away anytime without concerted action. You see? And what is the action that they're going to want to take eventually? We all know all roads lead to the MOTB, the digital identification, because I just brought that out in the article from a video I did last week, that in UN, due to the food insecurity and the food riots that were in Iran, the food riots that had out there, they introduced a digital identity to be able to procure certain resources, or certain groceries at a certain rate without paying for that at that inflated rate in that country. So we see that's what this is gearing towards. That's the solution that they want to come with, because they at least always have the plan: problem, reaction, solution. So the problem, right? It's a problem which they introduced in the first place, right? The reaction of the people would be fear, distrust, what's another word? Desperation. So they will come and with a solution to alleviate the people's reaction, right? A planned solution that they have from the beginning. You see, that's how the elites operate. It says before the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the two countries supplied a combined 1/3 of the world's wheat export and were in the top 5 exporters of corn. Coupled with widespread fertilizer shortages, supply chain issues, and record droughts, the world has about 10 weeks worth of wheat, Menker said. So, I mean, that's what she's saying. Of course, this woman, she's just a talking head. She's a demon. She don't know what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people that we see, be it somebody like a Klaus Schwab, like Henry Kissinger, these people are just talking heads for the elites, because these elite Edomites, what they're doing, such as, and what I'm saying, elite Edomites, the elite bankers, the so-called JEWs, right? They are the ones that gather in dark meetings, dark circles, sacrifice children, pray to Satan, and then they get their initiatives and their agendas from satanic forces, from demons, and then they enact upon those things. So then they'll in turn get certain people like this in their secret societies or through their institutions, their colleges, or their major corporations, and they build them up to be able to be talking heads like this. You see what I'm saying? Just like that dude Yuval Noah Harari. He has ties to a certain Rothschild organization, which I believe it was like a certain it was some group that was associated with that was like a part of the college that he went to, and he ended up joining it. So, I mean, that's what these people are. These people are wicked as hell, man. But this is all the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Because it reads here, you go here, Revelation 6:8, and it says, I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. So this pale horse is representing death, because great death is about to sweep this land. It says, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. See? So the rider of this pale horse, which is death, the Lord is about to have this sweep over the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? And the as far as with the fourth part, that's talking about North America, because in here people are going to be getting killed with the sword, which is people fighting one another for the lack of resources, for lack of bread, and with hunger. They're going to die of famine, and with the beasts of the earth, right? Because if you go up, up to Revelation 6:5, it says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast come and see, and beheld, lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. So a penny would represent a day's wages, right? So imagine, look, this just use this as an example. If you get paid $100, let's just say on average, people get paid. Let's bring down the average. I was gonna say $100. Let's say the average for wages a day, right, in America, about $60, give or take. So what this is saying, and you look at, compare and contrast that to the current wheat prices for bread, around anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on what quality of bread you want to get. So what this is saying, at one point, it's going to go from being a portion of your daily wages that's affordable to the whole amount. So you're going to go to the store and pay $60, $100 for a loaf of bread. You know what I'm saying? This is prophecy. That's why it's saying these people are specifically attacking the wheat. There are all types of other food, resources, if you will, food categories, however you want to put it, that this Edomites could have attacked and went for, but specifically wheat, because this is prophecy being played out. The world has a 10-week wheat supply, and what's going to follow that? That fourth beast that rides upon the Salaki, that fourth horse that rides upon the pale horse, man, that rider of death, because once that inflation hits, that's when hyperinflation, more people losing their jobs. It's not going to be any even point to go to work anymore, because you're going to go to work, and by the time, you ain't going to be able to afford rent, you ain't going to be able to afford groceries. So most people just going to quit their job. And a lot of the people, before people quit their jobs, a lot of these businesses going to go out of business because they're not going to be able to pay the rent from which they have their business establishes, or pay the electricity bills, because it's going to skyrocket. They're already talking about the energy being more costly in the coming months, man. You see what I'm saying? So this is beautiful, man. Yahweh Shemar Shai is judging America. He's setting up this perfect final chess pieces to checkmate this place. That night, the Most High, the Most High been moving his pieces on the chessboard for the past several years, but now we almost seeing that checkmate. So this is the article I want to get about the blackouts. It says summer blackouts could hit these U.S. states, regulators warn. It says blackouts plague a number of states in the U.S. Blackouts could plague a number of states in the U.S. this summer, regulators warn. Combination of drought, heat, potential cyber attacks, and straight from the world. If you want to know what they're talking about, cyber attacks, they're getting that from the World Economic Forum. Geopolitical conflicts and supply chain problems could disrupt the power supply. According to a grim new report from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, the regulatory body found that large swaths of the U.S. and parts of Canada are at an elevated or high risk of energy shortfalls during the summer's hottest months. Parts of the Midwest are at especially high risk due to the retirement of older plants, which has caused a 2.3 decrease in capacity from last summer, as well as increased demand, according to NERC. In the Southwest, plummeting river levels may cripple hydropower production, the group warned. And in Texas, drought-related heat events could cause extreme energy demand. So we seeing like a lot of this stuff is conjecture, but what Esau is familiarizing people with this concept, so that when it happens, basically, people will accept the narrative of whatever they say they want to say next. Whatever they say, whatever the next story will be. You see what I'm saying? So let's just get the rest of these precepts I got. So let's go to John 6:26. It says, Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat the loaves and were filled. So this was Yahushua speaking, rebuking the people that followed him not for belief, but for food. And that's how Jake is. Jake, see, a part of the reason why Jake does not want to get involved in his truth is because they think their hustle and bustle, the daily grind, going to clubs, their pleasures and eating and all these different things, they think that that's the object of their life. They don't understand that they have a higher calling. It says, labor not for the meat which perisheth. The Yahushua is telling them, don't labor for the things which perish, which is really everything of this earth, but especially not the food resources, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua has that power to give you food when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? It says, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath the Most High, him hath God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God? Yahushua answered and said unto them, this is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him that he hath sent. So the people inquired of what they're supposed to do, and Yahushua told them straight up, this is how you work. You believe on me. It's that simple. You know, because you even had the thief, which was caught up in his wicked acts during his life. And though he was wicked and condemned to death, he, in his final moments, when he was crucified next to Yahushua, he believed in him and joined him in paradise, you know. But, you know, of course, we have a duty and responsibility as, you know, brothers that and sisters that wake up to the truth to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But the basis of what we do to be righteous in the eyes of the Most High is to believe in Yahushua. Keep that constant thought in your mind that Yahushua is, man, that these stories that you read are real. You know, we show forth with our actions, with our prayers, with our connection to the Most High, with our works. Because all this is, we're doing this in order to prove to the Most High that we truly believe. We're proving ourselves, and really the Most High is proving us. It says, they said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work? So Jake was carnal, man. Jake was seeked after a sign. It says, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of the Most High is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. So even then they couldn't get it, because they said, Yahushua told them, you got to believe on me. And then Jake is so rebellious and stubborn. They said, well, what sign do we have to see? Well, Yahushua told him, you already have the sign. The Father doesn't need to send manna down to show and eat of that. I'm that bread. You know what I'm saying? Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Yahushua said unto him, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. See, when you believe, you never hunger or you never thirst, because you satiated with the words of the Lord and constantly renewed in that. And also, you know what? In times of hunger, times of famine, the Most High satisfies those that believe on him, just like Elijah. During the time of Elijah, who was a great man of the Lord, a prophet, he was satisfied in the times of hunger and chaos, when a lot of Jake was dying of famine, right? I believe during the time of Elijah, that was the same time where two women had ended up boiling one of the women's children. And then they came and argued before the king, right? Because they had agreement to boil the other son the next day, and the other woman didn't want to do it. She didn't want to give up her son, but they both ate the other lady's son. So you have on one end Jake that was wicked, experiencing that extremity, but then you had Elijah who was protected. He was fed from crows of heaven. They came and gave him bread, and he drunk of a certain lake that the Most High had him posted at. You see what I'm saying? So hey, Yahushua, he speaks truly when he says this. It says, but I said unto you that ye also have seen me and believe not. All that the Father all that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. And that's what's happening right now. All that the ones that are chosen to come to Yahweh Shai from the Father, the Heavenly Father, are coming to him. And the rest of them are just out there at this current time, going on alcohol runs, stealing all type of bottles from the liquor store, man. That's what 2/3 are doing. It says, for I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will that has sent me, that of all which he hath given me, that I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And that proves reincarnation. Because the same followers of Yahweh Shai that believed on him then, right? They believe on him again now. In the true name, in the true gospel, the true doctrine, believing and knowing that we are the Israelites, coming back to the knowledge of the law, statutes, and commandments of our true history. All this has happened because Yahweh Shai raised us up again, the house of David. The house of David's ruins being raised up, as the scripture says. It says, and this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life. And I'll raise him up at that last day. See? So the true believers are being raised up, man, this time. And Yahweh Shai goes on to, contend with Jake, but they still didn't get it. And that's why, the time is coming where Jake is just going to get put to death out here. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And that's what Jake doesn't understand. Jake doesn't even understand that through these different crises and things that are happening, that Esau is showing you through his media, which he plans to do, that they're being led like sheep to the slaughter. Like cows to a slaughterhouse when they just go there and get done in and become food. That's how Jake is being led right now. But the scriptures say, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Meaning how Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to intervene. Because Esau has plans to kill every Israelite. And every Israelite which he doesn't kill, he plans to tag him up with that, that charagma. You know what I'm saying? So what the Lord is saying is, look, I got my people. I'm going to intervene. I'm going to have them right. You know what I'm saying? It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and would destroy all the land thereof. So the things that we're hearing, like the blackouts, the supply shortage of wheat, the rise in criminality and shoplifting, which is only going to lead to more theft and more straight up robbery and murder. These are all plagues. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Let's go down to verse 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You see what I'm saying? And for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And just like what we see, man, Jake is gonna be these people out here. Once their money goes, man, they're not gonna worry about what a cop has to say. They're not gonna worry about what a governor has to say. People are going to do what they want to do in order to protect themselves. It's gonna be dog eat dog. It's gonna be, I need to get mine, so I'm gonna get mine. Get it how you live type situation. That's exactly what the Lord is describing. So if the people in their mindset is going to be, look, if I have to rob my next door neighbor, put him to death, kill him to take his last bag of rice, I'm going to do that. Or these weirdo sickos, you're going to have young Jakes, in bands of, they're going to leave their house. They're going to roam around in bands of 10, 20, just going about stealing food and raping women, man, and killing whoever don't listen to them. And the vice versa, opposite, and you're going to have bands of Edomites doing the same thing. People are going to click up and start killing one another. And then, as that chaos increases, that's when Esau is going to declare full martial law. And that's when, these niggas going to be getting mowed down by the martial law troops. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See? So that's showing you that's what's going to be the driving force behind all this criminality, because the lack of bread. That's coming, man. So at that point, when there's no food in the stores, and then everyone done stocked up and everyone got whatever was in the store in their houses, and whoever is without are people that are still worried about, being without or lacking, they're gonna resort to criminality. Whoever was the most the last man out to get what they need from the grocery store, those same people gonna get guns, and if they got any guns at that time, they're gonna use them to whoever got the food, whoever got what they need, whoever got the toilet paper. You see what I'm saying? So this is the situation that's brewing up here in America. So with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, Shalom.